What's good, y'all? You back here again in 2022. You know, I shouldn't need to do videos like this. There are other videos, other topics of discussion that I can talk about. I mean, I guess it makes sense given that chapter 1050 just dropped last week. Milestone chapter, we know all that. Wano is slowly wrapping up to its end. We understand that. I mean, there might be another section with the whole world government action and whatnot. But as far as in Lin Lin and Kaido being down, all right, bet. Y'all see the title. The Luffy hate, man. It needs to stop. It needs to die. It seems every so often, like within like 2 to 3 times in these New World arcs, I have to talk about these kind of things. And as a disclaimer, for those if you don't know by now, Luffy is my second favorite anime and manga character of all time. My fifth favorite character of all time. Straw Hat Monkey D. Luffy. Absolutely love this character, what he symbolizes, what he stands for, how he's affected my life, and so much more. So many aspects of his character that are so in depth. One of easily the most in depth written characters, one of the best written characters, one of the best developed characters, just one of the best characters in fiction history. Period. Now we'll debate anybody on that, and good luck because we will go for a 3 hour debate. Thing is, the Luffy hate extends far beyond, okay, in a series of One Piece, in the story of One Piece. It's similar to the Son Goku way. I'm gonna have to address that as well in another video with Dragon Ball. Now I'm detailing it as hate. Now folks can say, "Wonder, what are you talking about? Luffy hate? Luffy's the favorite character in the series, the most popular character." Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Protagonist, again, one of the best written characters in fiction history, one of the best characters in fiction history. Luffy, people talk about his power up and yeah, it's cool, it's cool. Luffy, he gets so much shine. Yeah, it's cool, cool. Y'all know I love some Zoro. Zoro does not get this kind of hate. The hate that Zoro gets is more so again with them fanboys. Sanji doesn't get this hate. The shit that Sanji gets is usually the fanboys and because Oda be playing with Sanji's character. Frankie, well, people just don't even really rock with Frankie like that. Frankie doesn't get the hate. Chopper, well, that's just straight haters. But it's a small, minority. Chopper sells like hotcakes. Robin, people love Robin. Nami, pretty much. But you don't see the Nami hate. If anything, we just say Nami needs to get a power up. That's pretty much the only complaint you hear about it. And maybe Nami's boobs. That's about it. Let's see. Jinbei, oh yeah. A few be disrespectful, but folks love my dog Jinbei. Let's see. Brooke, Soul King. Who hates on the Soul King? Who hates? There's a few people that are not fans, but who hates on the Soul King? He's that dude, that MVP of Whole Cake Island. You already know. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Usopp, yeah, some Usopp detractors and haters, but Usopp for the most part, he left out in the shadows as he should be as a sniper of the crew. And I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everybody. Nobody on the Straw Hats. Hell, no other character in the series. I mean, there are characters, there's clashes on viewpoints, but people don't hate on them. But Luffy, oh yeah. After every arc, there are dissatisfied fans. I'm talking about people that I respect. So this is not shade. This is people that I rock with. They know they rock with me. They know I'm cool with them. And I'm not even going to name drop in this video because I saw the tide a few weeks ago. I'm like, oh, here we go. Soon as Oda wrapping up the fight, here we go. It's the same shit every time. And it's old. And the reason I'm highlighting on fights, because you hear it after the same shit. You heard it. Let's see. Not so much East Blue, even though there are still to this day hour-long detractors saying that Luffy shouldn't have beat him. Sir Crocodile. Every so often, you gonna get an entire thread on why Sir Crocodile should have been saved. You know, even though he should have killed Luffy thrice, he nearly killed him twice. But the power scaling is broken. You don't hear this with Mr. One Dosbones. You don't hear this with Mr. Two Bon Clay. You just don't hear it, right? You don't hear this with Usopp and Chopper's battle. You don't hear it. You don't hear this with Nami and Miss Doublefinger. If anything, I've heard a few, people question that, or a few people come reasonable with the skepticism. But if anything, that was the one fight in the arc that made no goddamn sense. If anything, and it made sense. But if anything, that's the one fight you should have had problems with. But you don't. You don't really hear it. Not in this day and age. Right? Luffy versus Enel. There's no way, even though literally it was explained. And literally Luffy was the only one who could touch Enel, and Enel was damn near a glass cannon. Oh, they explained both fights. And there's other inferences of Luffy utilizing Haki and Luffy's willpower. Haki is willpower, but we don't want to have that conversation, right? Oh wait, it doesn't make sense because I now had a more powerful devil fruit, quote unquote, more powerful. Although Oda was literally showcasing symbolism and themes throughout that entire arc with every one of the Straw Hats. Seriously, go back and read or watch Skypiea. Oh yeah, I forgot. A lot of y'all did never read or watch Skypiea, or you've forgotten about it. So go back and I'm not even a fan of Skypiea like that, and even I understood that. Even though y'all must have forgot that Luffy was literally out of like half of the arc, right? Y'all forget about that part, right? Luffy wasn't even in there. All the rest of the Straw Hats went up against an L. Oda already established the dynamic of Luffy being the captain, meaning he taking down the top dog. Y'all want somebody else besides Luffy to take down the top dog. It's not happening. This is literally his story. It's from mainly his vantage point. He's literally the driving force of much of the world's events. And on his divine journey. I've talked about it enough in other videos, so we'll continue. Wait, he shouldn't have beat. Well, let's see. He gets clowned by Bluno and Rob Lucci. He gets his salty run back against Bluno and then Rob Lucci. He shouldn't have won against Rob Lucci. Why? Why shouldn't? Because Rob Lucci was just. Luffy has been fighting many superior opponents, starting with Buggy. Could have died against Buggy. No. Oh no, well y'all think Buggy's weak. That's why. Yeah. Buggy's just a trash character. Buggy's weak, right? That's right. Sir Crocodile, he must be weak now. Even though Sir Crocodile is literally one of the strongest Shichibukais. Literally. And I can go into another video and breaking down from every aspect of he was actually top 3. He's actually more powerful than Joker, believe it or not. Yeah. Oda is showing y'all this is not ABC 1, 2, 3 just elevating. Future antagonists are not necessarily more powerful than past antagonists. That's not how fights even work. Ever read Hajime no Ippo? Ever read the Baki series? Hell, even in some points in Dragon Ball are like this. Folks just want this formulaic. Y'all say that One Piece is formulaic. No, it's really not. Oda draws in little intricacies, subtleties to change up things. Are you trying to tell me that Horty Jones was more powerful than Sentomaru? Is that what we're saying? Horty Jones was more powerful than Pacifista? Is that what we're saying? Come on now. Oh, Monet's more powerful than Caesar Clown. That's what we're saying, right? Cool. What do we do? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Oh wait, a lot of some of y'all were the same fans who said Vergo is more powerful than Pico, even though Vergo is the 4th to 6th most powerful than Don Quixote pirates, and Pico's number 2, definitively number 2, right? Oh wait, some of y'all were saying that Queen was more powerful than King, even though there's literally no evidence of that. Okay. Oh wait, some of y'all say Sasaki's not powerful. Oh wait, some characters y'all say that don't utilize hockey, but Oda even went out of his way in SBSs to acknowledge some of these characters utilize hockey. Y'all do realize that different people have different levels of skill in different areas. Y'all do realize that One Piece has a myriad of stuff in which you can draw from power sources. King of Lightning and others have talked about this. I've talked about this. Like it's literally y'all want to be spoon fed. It's insane. And what's crazy is, I'm going to still go throughout the series, and I'm pointing forth about Luffy's fights because this is a serious problem. Because you hear the love, when people are getting what they want, but as soon as they don't, oh the reverie, oh people are losing ape shit. Then we move back with the Straw Hats as we should because we're following their story, especially Luffy. And then all of a sudden, now the series falls off. People going ape over Sanji and Zoro's fight. And I love Zoro. But Luffy versus Kaido is the better fight. Just like Zoro versus King was the better fight than Sanji. And anybody who says Sanji had a superior fight are just Sanji fans. But people are losing their minds over that shit. Even though Luffy versus Kaido is the best fight in the entire series. But crickets and displeasure. We don't like how Wano ended. We'll come back to that. So Luffy versus Gecko Moria. We don't like that arc. Why? What are the legitimate reasons why you don't like that arc? Not saying it's a great arc. Not saying it's the best arc. There were moments in that arc. Oh, because we don't like Gecko Moria. Oh, he was just Shichibukai. He should have done more against Luffy. Same complaints every goddamn time. Oh well, he got nerfed. Luffy shouldn't have been Nightmare Luffy, Do Ex Machina. Now, yes, probably one of the worst usages of Do Ex Machina in fiction history. I'm a critic of it, of Nightmare Luffy. But it was explained because of his will power, which Kaido himself alluded to in the most recent chapters. How Roger, Pirate King Goldie Roger, dominated the seas with just hockey. We know how Shakes gets down. Y'all love Garp, but you hate on Luffy. Make it make sense. Luffy, one of the most creative characters in fiction history, but you hate on him. Make it make sense. It's clearly that people have agendas. So we continue, right? All of the events in Thriller Bark that I love have nothing to do with Luffy, except for loose association like the nothing happened moment. Oh, I forget. Y'all want Luffy to be this badass character. Y'all want him to be serious, edgy, he matured kind of character. That's not his character, and it never will be. I don't understand why people, after 1,000 chapters, do not understand this. That's why people like myself love Luffy's character so much, because he smiles in the face of adversity. Because he's not having this deep philosophical going. Someone like myself who experiences that on a personal level. I'm not trying to read that all the time. A character like Luffy says, in spite of anything I go through, I'm just going to keep pushing forward. No matter the obstacle, adversity, no matter if it's death or the most powerful on the seas. I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm going to protect those that I care about. I'm going to try to complete the goals. I'm going to do things for reasons outside of myself. Do you understand how honorable that is? Do you understand how mature Luffy actually is as a character? But we'll come back to that, right? So you get the Saburi. Luffy, he tells his crew to run. Luffy does what any good captain would do. And you can say he brought problems on themselves, but Luffy was fighting for something larger than himself. Isn't that what he's supposed to do? Not sit back and watch evil happen in the world? Protect someone he actually cared about? Aren't these admirable qualities? Especially for someone who's actually self-admittedly not a hero, which Luffy actually isn't. because all you have to say is impel down in his lobby. Definitely not a hero. Luffy literally is willing to take on a Marine Admiral, pacify, whatever's thrown at him. And the only reason he ran is, or said run, was to protect his crew. Great leadership. What else is he supposed to do in that? Just watch. I mean, he's practically seeming like he's watching his crew die right in front of his eyes. How would you be impacted if you see all your homies, all your family? Because he considers them Nakama. That's his family. Imagine if you thinking you're watching your family get massacred right in front of you. How are you supposed to react to that? Oh, but y'all love that part. Oh, y'all love to see him fail. Okay, okay. Y'all hate that he says, I'm going to be king of the pirates. Is it because some of y'all out there who hate on his character is because you don't have any dreams? Is it because society has destroyed your sense of creativity, your childish ambitions? I mean, and I don't mean just, oh, well, this thing didn't work and I got robot. Has it been that society has killed your sense of hope, your sense of faith? Is that what it is? How, because you have to drudge in and day out at work, dealing with it if you have kids or whatever else, because you in your life, because maybe mistakes happened and things didn't turn out for you, that all of a sudden you cut off the potential of any sort of optimistic future. Oh, is that why you like Sane and other dark series? Because it reflects how you feel on the inside. It reflects how you view the world. Is that why? Is that why you like characters like Sanji who have this character dilemma? Because you resonate with that because you in yourself are feeling insecure. Or you want the badass of Zoro because you vicariously can live through Zoro. Is that why? Oh, you love Nami and Robin because they sexy. So in ways, it's an objectification aspect. I'm not saying you don't like the characters, but is that what? Or you like the hothead that is Sabo, or the cool hothead that is Ace, or seeming like he has everything together in law because you yourself don't have it all together, or you try to repress and suppress everything, but you want to forget about Law's backstory. You just want to ignore that. That's why his character and all the trauma that induce, and Luffy and the Straw Hats are helping to literally bring out the man in Law, that a guy like me now is starting to like the character of Law that I did not previously like. Hell, I like Bellamy, and why? Interactions with Luffy. How Bellamy is one of the best written minor characters in the entirety of fiction because of what Oda did with his character development, who he became from this complete jerk jack, this asshole of a character, this complete jackass who killed on dreams, to now he's a man. He's grown up and he respects Luffy. And he went down because he's like, listen, I gotta go down with my old ideas. My old ideals, what I held on to. And Luffy helped liberate him. Luffy actually cared about him. He followed a man who didn't even care about him. But here you go, Luffy actually did. Or what about Luffy versus Vivi? Where Luffy punches her and he's like, "Lo, this is war. People gonna die. All that utopic bullshit that you trying to spew is not realistic, Vivi. Get with the program." And she learned that firsthand in the middle of the battle where she tried to stop the war and nothing happened. But Luffy recognized what it was. And he went for the objective. And it wasn't selfish. It was for somebody else. And you don't like Luffy because he's not this completely selfish asshole of a character who's went through this unnecessary metamorphosis? Is that why y'all like characters like Vegeta? Is that why y'all dislike characters like Son Goku? Because they're actually selfless? To a degree. Is it because Luffy doesn't fit into societal stereotypes? Is it because he doesn't fit into your predetermined your judgment on what it means to be a man? Let's look at things, right? So Zoro could have beaten Hori Jones. We know this. First of all, Luffy comes back, fun times, but Luffy trains. Luffy overcame his trauma. We can go about Marineford. Y'all know about Impel Down. One of the best moments in the series, two of the best moments happened in that arc alone. The fact that he let Sir Crocodile ride because Jinbei talked some sense into him, which was a sign of maturity. Oh, Luffy's this immature character, right? But he rocked with Sir Crocodile because he put aside those old grievances. He forget him. He let it ride for a large role. Oh, well, he doesn't follow a plan. I could bring up about Capone. How did Luffy not follow a plan? He followed Capone's plan because it made sense. Oh, and what about the fact of in Impel Down as well? Luffy was ready to have all the smoke with Teach, with Blackbeard Marshall D. Teach, who literally captured his brother. If this is almost any other shonen series, you know what would have happened. But nah, again, voice of reason, the boss, the first son of the sea, Jinbei talking sense to him and saying this ain't the time for that kind of smoke, bruh. Not here, bruh. Lil bruh. What did Luffy say? I bet. I bet. I got something for your ass, but we'll say that for later. That's maturity. He's 17. Some of y'all, some folks out here in their 30s, 40s, 50s not even acting like that. Got whole kids and families not even acting like that. Whole marriages don't even act like that. You got people in positions of political power that don't even act like that. Got plenty of wealth and resources that can impact their communities, don't act like that. Let them old grievances. Got old shit from families holding on to grudges. Old friends and family. Still ain't let it go. And Luffy had a legitimate reason to go after this man who literally got his brother locked up and is literally the reason his brother, you can say, at least from Luffy's perspective, is the reason that his brother's about to be executed. That day, but he let it ride because it was not the objective, the main objective. But Luffy's not in depth. We don't have to talk about Amazon Lily. How Luffy literally did not let the desires for a woman distract him. Manly, grown man ass shit. How Luffy's very presence changed a woman's entire perspective on men as a whole. Do you understand in this day and age what that kind of message does with the divide between men and women? But Luffy's not an in-depth character. No. How he protected the Boa sisters, the mark of slavery, women who were literally trying to take his life, and out of honor as a man, was like, no, I don't care that you're my adversary. I don't care you trying to kill me. Because that means that much to y'all. I'm going to respect y'all honor. Okay. Luffy at Marineford literally goes in a catatonic state because he watched his brother literally die in front of his eyes. Imagine if your bro, adoptive or otherwise, doesn't matter, it's his brother. His older brother, the bro, that's his dude. Literally gets killed right in front of him. How would you respond to that? He's about to lose his damn mind. But then the Dark King Silver's Rayleigh talks some sense into him. Jinbei there to talk sense to him. And he listens to these men's wisdom. He puts his emotions aside. And he's like, all right. And he's reminded of who he has to protect and what he's fighting for. And so what does he do? He says, all right, bet. All right, cool. You know what? Y'all are right. I'm going to listen to the wisdom of my elders. And you know what? I'm going to become a better version of myself. Externally and internally. One of the most manliest decisions I've ever seen in fiction. When I sit back and really think about it. I could talk about the Golden Mary's death. How I talk about I literally cried because of Luffy's tears, because it literally impacted me that much. I could talk about that. We could talk about Luffy versus Usopp and that dude and all the aspects of what that meant. We could talk about that shit right there, right? We could talk about Luffy versus Sanji, which I don't even harp on that point. We could talk about how Luffy just took it. He just took it on the chin, and he realized what his homeboy, his damn near brother, feel like him, you know, his cook, his dude, what he was going through emotionally. And Luffy said, listen, Sanji, I can't do this shit without you, bro. Bruh, I'm not leaving here without you. You are valuable. Your life actually matters. Do you know how much that means? Come on now. What are we talking about right now? Luffy with the Noah, literally ready to put his life on the line, protect an entire island. No, we don't talk about that. Literally. Luffy literally going on his way to damn near save an entire group of people from damn near genocide. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about how he's literally fighting racism with his own life, how he literally was sacrificing and bleeding out. And Jinbei, of all people, yeah, of course, literally that symbolism of the exchange of the blood. We don't want to talk about that. The racism in that, and the whole human aspect, and a human and a fisherman in it. We don't want to talk about that. I mean, there's, we ain't gonna touch even Punk Ashley. We don't want to talk about Dressrosa and all the symbolism in there. How we see Sabo, oh, he's alive. He thought it, brother, he thought he was dead for over a decade. Something like 12 years, I believe. Somewhere around there. We don't want to talk about we don't want to talk about Luffy versus Doflamingo and all the symbolism of that. We don't want to talk about that. Okay. Luffy standing up against Lin Lin on Fishman Island. We don't want to talk about that. No. We want dread and tragedy. But we don't want to talk about the backdrops of these arcs. We don't want to talk about how literally Alabasta was thrown into a civil war. We don't want to talk about how Nico Robin was literally captured and about to be who knows what. We don't want to talk about the slavery aspect that the Boa sisters came from. Don't want to talk about how literally Ace died. But y'all love Newgate because he was so cool and badass. Newgate died. What was actually gained from his death? Turmoil on the seas. Whitebeard pirates eventually collapse. Ace was not even protected, so he didn't even complete his objective. But you want to shit on Luffy. Okay. Makes perfect sense, right? Makes perfect sense, right? Wano, how Luffy's literally fighting for an entire nation that's been enslaved for 25 years. Oh, y'all hate on that chapter a couple chapters ago where literally ropes. Well, we've already seen this before, even though we got a flashback that we literally never saw that literally piece everything together. The unseen flashback. We don't get enough. I don't have felt any connection with the Scabbers, the Red Scabbard. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Do I have to do an entire video on the Scabbards? I may have to, but are you fucking kidding me? Kinemon talked about it to ad nauseum. What happened? They literally watched their lord Odin get killed. They literally watched Lady Toki, the royal or the pseudo royal family, and you could say the royal family was about to get massacred. Ashura Doji literally like becoming a bandit leader again. Had to revert back to his old ways. You had Inuyasha and Nekomamushi, Lord Duke Inuyasha and Lord Nekomamushi literally had a 20-year feud because of what happened. Raizo with his PTSD, which was resolved in these chapters because of the fire and him actually coming in clutch. Him, the thing with Fukurokujo and all the layers and indefinite. I may do an entire video on all the layers of that battle. Where Oda literally, one of the most symbolic battles I probably have ever read in a manga. But Oda doesn't know how to draw fights. Oda doesn't know how to write fights. Okay. Right. Oda doesn't know how to deal with battle of ideologies, even though that's literally 95% of Luffy's fights. Okay. Luffy versus Kaido, where Luffy, like, compared to all the other Straw Hats, first of all, Luffy's fights always make the most sense out of all the Straw Hats. Secondly, literally, Luffy was given how many points of advancement in his character, power-wise and otherwise, for him to be able to take down Kaido? And initially, it wasn't even good. Y'all got what y'all want. Y'all said you couldn't fight him alone. Oda did that. And still, you're not satisfied. What is this? Like, this is mainly focused on Luffy, but this is for the entire series of One Piece. Because he's such a central figure, I have to address the Luffy aspect. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. What the hell did you want and expect? Luffy couldn't afford to lose in the war. And I haven't even begun to get into the whole Katakuri situation. Luffy had to win. He knew it. Luffy had to advance. Y'all say y'all don't want these cheap ass pulls and power-ups and things. Luffy earns his fucking shit. Luffy actually puts his life on the line to earn his shit. Literally puts his life on the line to earn his shit. Luffy looks like a dead man right now. Luffy versus Lord Cracker. These long extended fights. Okay. You say you want a protagonist who struggles, Luffy gives you that. You say you want a protagonist to earn his shit, Luffy gives you that. You say you want stakes, Luffy and Zoro are both on death's door. But okay. Luffy literally was given a godly power at the cost of his life. Luffy will probably die by the end of the series. Literally die. But okay. Luffy uses techniques that literally are killing him. In the case of Gear Secondo. Probably in the case of Gear 4th. Case of Gear 5th / Awakening. But okay. Then I could go into the whole thing with Goldie, Roger, and Joy Boy not being able to complete and dying prematurely. But okay. Luffy literally giving up years of his lifespan in Impel Down, as well as in Marineford. Okay. I mean, come on, man. I don't understand this shit. Oh, Law's such a bad, because Law has these flashy ass moves. Oh my goodness. I just, it's infuriating, honestly, because it says so much about people's mentalities about life. See, folks think this is just me if you think this is just me about me ranting and raving, it's not. This says so much about the nature and the state of society and how fucked up shit really is out here. You'll get a general sense of the themes of my video, especially if you watch all the way to the end. If you're dissatisfied with how Wano ended, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry that you don't want any good writing in a series. I feel sorry, and you could say that you didn't wonder. No, it's clear because they do this with every goddamn arc. It doesn't matter how Oda finishes the arc. Nothing's ever satisfies people. People say you can't please everybody. What expectations? Why the fuck do you have expectations? Y'all know what this series is with One Piece. Luffy's not just gonna gain some random unrealistic power. Oda has literally not done that through the entirety of the series. Luffy doesn't have magic. He doesn't have this out of the otherworldly superpower. He's not Superman. Oh, but y'all hate on him, and we can talk about that as well. We'll talk about the hatred of Superman, Batman, Daredevil. Y'all hate on plenty of every character, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Cause I'm gonna have a pretty much entire series of addressing the hate. Cause this shit don't make any goddamn sense. It ain't no goddamn sense. You hate on Iron Fist. Some of y'all hate on Iron Man. Some of y'all hate on the Punisher. Daredevil. Doesn't really fucking matter. So it's not about the powers. No, you just don't like what a character stands for. And that's a larger issue. If you dislike how Wano ended or is ending, then I would say check yourself in the mirror and look at the world around you and how fucked up shit is and what the messages Oda is actually sending. What are the themes of Wano? Because this is dark. This arc was dark as fuck. It was. And Oda didn't give a damn. He made sure to remind us what the fuck was at stake. Oh, stakes. Stakes? Literally an entire nation being enslaved is not stakes? Literally an entire nation being cut off from the rest of the planet isn't stakes? Literally a world about to be thrown into war isn't stakes? Literally a world potentially being liberated from tyrannical regimes isn't fucking stakes? Literally people sacrificing for people they don't even know and possibly knowing they're going to die but doing it anyway isn't stakes? Literally people fighting for their homeland isn't stakes? If this was any other goddamn series, y'all would be loving this shit, which means there are further deeper issues that you refuse to address. You want One Piece to be a story that you want. You don't want to deal with the real shit that's out here. You want escapism. That's a problem. That's a fundamental problem that we'll address at another time. Unexpected want to like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry if this tone for this video was very, very somber. I'm sorry if this was too extensive for you, but I'm tired. I'm tired of the shit that goes on in the world around me, the excuses, the complaints that people have, but do nothing. But then when writers like Oda try to give us a different perspective, a possible way that encourages people to actually want to do things to impact the world, then people just shit on that. But then complain about the atrocities of the world. The cognitive dissonance amongst people is insanity. Literal insanity. By every form metric of the definition. So yeah, I'm going to keep coming on people's heads. Because this shit needs to stop. This Luffy hate, and by him being Joy Boy, what Joy Boy actually symbolizes, what Luffy's character symbolizes, freedom fighting. Y'all hating on a freedom fighter who's willing to do whatever it takes to liberate people as well as protect others, whose symbolism, whose ideologies are seemingly simplistic, but in their simplicity are profound. He said, I want a world in which Tom and them can fucking eat. Which will get me into some Toriko and the whole thing of starvation. I could go 2 hours talking about people in privilege, but y'all, I don't know how to end this video. Makes no sense to me. And yes, it's emotions, because I'll leave off with this. I'm emotional because I personally, I'm invested in certain things, events, communities, and more, trying to help change things. And literally, Luffy being Joy Boy, these last few chapters have put a smile on my face that joy boy wide smile on my face in a very rough period in my life. One Piece is the series where I consistently read. It's the series where I'm consistently into. Other series I'm not even following right now in a period of my life. And on a very personal note, for people to be shitting on something that's providing myself and so many other people joy in very dark periods of their life, it's just like, god damn. Like, I see why the world's fucked up. I see that people don't have empathy and sympathy for shit outside of what their personal desires are, their selfish, wants. And it's just narcissistic as hell. And a character like Luffy embodies and symbolizes otherwise. And it would make sense why, for example, the character of Adolf Flamingo, even though I love his character, y'all know I do, why he resonated with some people so well. And why Katakuri and people didn't want him to fall. Well, a lot of people are having a mask. They're faking it till they make it kind of shit. Where they're living in a facade, a veneer. But yeah, I'm not going to keep leaving y'all. This video is long enough. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Till next time.